Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. My name is Melissa and I talk about missing children in my case. But if you did not see my last video, which I think was my Selena video, I have decided that once in a while, I may do it like, I'm gonna skip a missing child's video upload and then I'm gonna do a celebrity that has passed away. So I'm gonna be mixing it up a little bit, just because, like I said, I love doing these. Not love, but I like doing these cases of missing children, because I want to keep them in the media and keep reminding people that they're still missing to this day. But it does take a toll on me most of the time. Especially because I do have a daughter on my own, and I cannot imagine having to go through that and not knowing, God forbid something happens to my child, not knowing what happened, not knowing where she's at, not knowing who did it, looking at people and thinking, what about if that was the person that did it to my, I could not imagine. So these cases do take a real bad turn on me. So I have decided just to mix it up a little bit. There's going to be sometimes that if I do upload, it's going to be about a missing child's case. If it's not, it's going to be about celebrity that have passed away. So my last celebrity case that I did was about Selena. Actually, I think her birthday is today. So happy birthday to the most beautiful Queen of Tejano, Selena Quintanilla. And I hope she is resting in peace. And I know she's looking down on her family, but also on her fans that still to this day support her. And I know that she's glad that people are, that new generation is learning about who she is, who she was, and hearing her music and how amazing of a person she was. So today we're going to be talking about another celebrity, or a celebrity that passed away, and we're going to be talking about the king of pop, Michael Jackson, the only king of pop who I feel like his death was shocking to me. When I heard that he did pass away, it was very shocking. It was very crazy. It's just a lot. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about the king of pop, Michael Jackson. So who was Michael Jackson? Known as the king of pop, Michael Jackson was a best-selling American singer, songwriter, and dancer. As a child, Jackson became the lead singer of his family's popular Motown group, the Jackson 5. He went on to a solo career of astonishing worldwide success, delivering number one hits from the album Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad. Thriller remains one of the best-selling albums in history. And in his later years, Jackson was dogged by allegations of child molestation. The 13-time Grammy Award-winning died in 2009 at age 50 of drug overdose just before launching a comeback tour. So, let's start about his early life and family. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29th of 1958 in Gary, Indiana. He was the 8th of 10 children born to Joseph Jackson, a crane operator, and Catherine Jackson, a homemaker, and a devout Jehovah's Witness. Both of Jackson's parents probably had musical inspiration themselves. Catherine played clarinet and the piano and had aspired to be a country singer, while Joseph was a guitarist who performed in local R&B bands. They encouraged their children to pursue musical ambitions, and Jackson's career in music began at age 5 under his father's encouragement. Almost all the Jackson siblings made marks in the music industry, including Rebe, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, LaToya, Marlon, Randy, and Janet Jackson. His brother Brandon Marlon twin died shortly after birth. So they would have had like 12 kids. Joseph pushed his children hard to succeed, making them rehearse 5 hours a day after school, and was reportedly known to become violent with them. He was said to beat them with a belt buckle, an electric kettle cord, and to order them to break a branch off a tree if they got to dance step wrong, so he could hit them with it. Yes, people. Yes, back then, parents. I don't know. I remember parents saying that to me, Hispanic parents. But I know in the black culture, I remember on my some of my friends saying stories of how their grandparents will tell their children, go to the tree and go give me a branch, and if you brought a small one, they would go make you go back and get a big one. So yeah, that was normal. Joseph molded his sons in a musician group in the early 1960s that would later become known as the Jackson Five. At first, the Jackson family group consisted of Jackson's older brother Tito, Jermaine, and Jackie. Jackson joined his sibling when he was 5 years old and emerged as the group lead vocalist. He showed remarkable range and depth for such a young performer, impressing audience with his ability to convey complex emotions. They officially became the Jackson Five when older brother Marlon joined the group. Jackson and his brother spent endless hours rehearsing and publishing their act. At first, the Jackson Five played local gigs and built a strong following. They recorded one single on their own, Big Boy, with the B-side, You Change, but the record failed to generate much interest. The group moved on to working as the opening act for R&B artists such as Gladys Knight, The Pipes, James Brown, and Sam and David. Many of these performers were signed to the legendary Motown record label, and the Jackson Five eventually caught the attention of Motown founder Berry Gordy. Impressed by the group, Gordy signed the group to his label in early 1969. Jackson and his brothers moved to Los Angeles, where they lived with Gordy with Diana Ross of the Super Marms as they got settled. The Jackson Five made first television appearance during the 1969 Miss Black America pageant, performing a cover, If This Is Your Thing. The first album Diana Ross presented to the Jackson Five hit the charts in December of 1969 with the single I Want You Back, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart shortly after. More than top single quickly followed, such as ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. For several years, Jackson and the Jackson Five maintained a busy tour and recording schedule under the supervision of Gordy and his Motown staff. The group became so popular that even its own self-titled cartoon show, which ran from 1971 to 1972, Jackson also popularized the robot dance. After using this move doing a 1973 performance of the song Dancing Machine on the Mike Douglas Show. Despite the group's greatest success, there was trouble bearing behind the scenes. Tensions mounted between Gordy and Joseph over the management of his children's career, with the Jackson wanting more creative control over their material. The group officially severed ties with Motown in 1976, though Jermaine remained with the label to pursue his solo career. Not calling themselves the Jacksons, the group signed a new recording deal with Epic Records by the release of their third album. From label Destiny 1978, the brothers had emerged as talented songwriters. Jackson began his solo career while simultaneously performing with the Jackson Five. He released his debut solo album at age 13 with Got to Be There in 1971, making this chart with the title track. He had his first solo #1 single with the title track from his sophomore album Band in 1972, which he recorded for the 1972 film of the same name about a killer rat. Jackson followed those albums with musical Me in 1973 and Forever Michael in 1975, the latter of which was his last album with Motown Records. As Jackson's standard rose, he tried his hand at acting, and the experience left his mark on his music too. Jackson portrayed the scarecrow on the side de La Mountain, directed from The Wiz in 1977, starting alongside Diana Ross, Nicholas Russell. While living in New York City to make the film, Jackson would frequently visit the Studio 54 nightclub and was exposed to early hip-hop music, which contributed to his beatboxing and featured songs like Working Night and Day. Jackson achieved his solo career breakthrough with his Off the Wall 1979, his first album with Epic Records, and his first produced by Quincy Jones, who he met while working on The Wiz. An infectious blend of pop and funk, Off the Wall featured the Grammy Award-winning single Don't Stop Till You Get It Enough, along with such hits as Rock With You, She's Out of My Life, and the title track. Critics felt the album moved Jackson from the pop music of his youth into a more complex sound, and some have called it one of the best pop albums ever made. Jackson was still performing with his brothers at this time, and the overwhelming positive response to Off the Wall helped the Jackson as it grew. Their album Tribute in 1980 sold more than 1 million copies, and the brothers went on an extensive tour to support the recording. At this time, Jackson continued to explore more ways to branch out of his own. And in 1983, Jackson embarked on his final tour with his brothers to support the album Victory. In 1984, Jackson debuted with Mick Jagger called State of Shock, but the most successful single from the album. Jackson achieved incredible success with the release of his sixth-sold album Thriller in 1982, which of August 2021 was still recognized by Guinness World Records as the best-selling album of all time, having sold 67 billion copies worldwide, 34 million units in the United States alone. The album stayed on the charts for 80 weeks after his release, holding the number one spot for 37 weeks and generated 7 top 10 hits, including Thriller, Billie Jean, Beat It, Human Nature, Wanna Be Starting Something, and Pretty Young Thing. The album gathered 12 Grammy Award nominations and notched 8 wins. Both records at the time. Jackson also filmed an elaborated music video was for the album title track, directed by filmmaker John Landis. The 14-minute Thriller mini-movie featured in her plot that accumulates with Jackson dancing with dozens of zombies and abandoned city street. Finally debut on MTV on December 2nd, 1983, it was hailed as one of the greatest music videos of all time and became the first music video to be selected for National Filming and Registry in 2009. So if y'all notice, everything this man touched turned gold. Like everything. Like it turned gold. On a 1983 television special honoring Motown, Jackson performed his number one hit, Billie Jean, and debuted the moonwalk, which became one of his signature moves. The dance step, which R&B musician Jeffrey Daniel had taught him 3 years earlier, involves the dancer glitching backwards despite bodily actions that suggest forward motion. The much lauded dance performance further boosted sales for the already successful Thriller album. The New York Times hailed Jackson as a musical phenomenon. Writing in the world of pop music, where is Michael Jackson, there's everybody else. Jackson signed a record-breaking $5 million promotional deal with Pepsi.com in November of 1983, launching the brand's youth target and new generation campaign. However, Jackson ended up filming a lawsuit against Pepsi when doing the film of the Salome concert for a Chronicle. Psychotherapist accidentally set Jackson's hair on fire, resulting in second and third degree burns on his scalp. Jackson had surgery to repair his injury and is believed to have begun experimenting with plastic surgery around this time. His face, especially his nose, would become dramatically alert in the coming years. And in 1985, Jackson showed his artistic side by working with Lonnie Richard to co-write We Are in the World, a shared single for the non-profit organization the USA for Africa. A veritable who's of music star participated in the project, including Ray Charles, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, Bruce Springsteen, and Tina Turner. It became one of the top-selling singles of all time, raising by some accounts more than $75 billion for national humanitarian aid to fight poverty in Africa. And that's one thing about him. Like, if you put yourself and think of what he's done, not just musically, but out of music, he loved to help people. He went to countries that he knew needed attention and needed help. He went to the most poorest country ever and he gave back. So I feel like that's one thing that we should always remember about him. Not the bad things, the good thing that he did, because he did a lot of good things. Yes, there, and I will be talking about it more at the end of the video, but I feel like a lot of people always think of the bad instead of the good, if that makes sense. 5 years after Thriller, Jackson released his high anticipated follow-up album Bad in 1987. Although unable to duplicate the paranormal less Sales of Thriller Bastille reached the top of the charts and became the first album to feature 5 number one hits, with I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Bad, The Way You Made Me Feel, Men in the Mirror, and Dirty Diana. Filmmaker Martin Scorsese directed the title track music video, which featured a then unknown Wesley Snipes and involved in a collaborated story about declining teenagers and gang violence. Jackson spent more than a year on the road playing a concert to promote the album. In 1988, Jackson bought 270,000 acres of property in Los Feliz, California for $17 billion and had it converted into Neverland Ranch, a home and private amusement park that he owned until 2005. Named after the fantasy island from the Peter Pan story, it included a zoo, train, ferry wheels, 50-seat movie theater. Several exotic pets were kept at the ranch, including Jackson's famous pet, chimpanzee Bubbles. Around the late 1980s, rumors began swirling that Jackson was lighting the color of his skin to appear more white and sleeping in special oxygen chamber to increase his lifespan. Mind you, if that was true, like the whole, not the white part, but the like, he was sleeping with an oxygen to help him live longer. Where is it? I would do it. If there's something that I could breathe that keep me living longer, I want it. I want it. Because I'm terrified of dying. In 1993, Jackson agreed to air a television interview with Oprah Winfrey to quell rumors. He explained that the change in his skin's tone was the result of a skin condition known as vitiligo. And vitiligo basically means that you, I know there's some top model, I think it's Whitney. I think her name is Whitney. She has it. And it's basically where it's like your whole skin is not the complexion of your other skin, if that makes sense. I can't explain it, but yeah. And he has surgery because he wanted to cover it. He had the money to do it. Not everybody does. I mean, that's his business, so it is what it is. And he opened about the abuse he suffered from his father. In 1991, Jackson released his 8th solo album, Dangerous, and his first without Quincy Jones in 16 years. The album marked a different direction for Jackson. It mixed various genres, including R&B, funk, gospel, hip-hop rock, industrial, and classic, including the hit single Black or White. With the accompanying music video directed by Landis and featuring a cameo appearance by child star Michael Collin. The final minutes of the video feature Jackson making sexual gesturing and violating damaging cars and buildings, which draw criticism from some viewers. Jackson issued an apology and edited the video to remove the elements. Jackson's music continued to enjoy whispered in popularity in the following years. In 1993, he performed at several important events, including the halftime show of Super Bowl. However, in 1993, he also saw the first of several children molestation allegation against Jackson, a 13-year-old boy who claimed that the music star had fondled him. Jackson was known to have sleepovers with Boyd at his Neverland Ranch, but this was the first public charge of wrongdoing. The police searched the ranch, but they said they found no evidence to support the claim. The following year, Jackson settled the case out of court with the Boyd's family. In 2003, television. I know that I keep going back to the 2000 and the 19s and the like back and forth with the years, but that's how they have it written. So let's just roll with it. In 2003, television documentary Living with Michael Jackson, British journalist Martin Berger spent several months with the singer, even getting him to discuss his relationship with children. Jackson admitted that he continued to have children sleepovers at his ranch, and after the 1993 allegations, and that sometimes he slept with the children in his bed. Why can't you just share your bed? This is most loving thing to do, to share your bed with someone, Jackson told Berger. And I do not want to hear no negative comments on my damn thing, because Michael Jackson's fans had to this day right with Michael Jackson. So if you have nothing to say, nothing nice to say about Michael Jackson, please do not leave it in my comment, because one, I will block you. Because like I said, I know that if this video, whoever sees this video may be a Michael Jackson fan, and they will cuss you out. Respectfully. So don't even. Jackson's musical career began to decline with the lukewarm reputation to history, past, present, and future. Book 1 in 1985. The two disc album featured greatest in his complication in disc 1 and new material on disc 2 that include collaborations with Janet Jackson, the Notorious B.I.G., Shaquille O'Neal, and Slash. History was considered Jackson's most personal album, with the lyrics pertain to his child abuse allegation and anger to his treatment by the media. The record spawned to his You Are Not Alone and his debut with his sister Janet's Scream. The spaceship theme video for the later song cost a record-setting of $7 million to produce and earn a Grammy Award for his slick effects. Another track from the album, Don't Care About Us, brought Jackson intense criticism for using an anti-Semitic term. I don't know what they're talking about because I have not heard the song. If I don't forget, I probably will. In 2001, Jackson released Invisible, his final studio album. Prior to his death, it cost $30 million to produce, making it the most expensive album ever made. This man, if you see his concerts, this man is like, he goes beyond. He used to go beyond. Sir, I know you Michael Jackson, but sir, no. If I was a celebrity and a singer, I don't think I can spend $30 million on no. Like, mind you, yes, they're making that money back because people are paying for their tickets, but no, it has to be less than. If I want to go out and have a concert, I want to keep the minimum budget on and try to keep it as low as possible. Yes, I have money, I'm a celebrity, but no, even celebrities, they have to be smart with their money if they want to stay not broke. But that's just my opinion. The album touched upon such topics as the solarization social issue, and Jackson continued to objection to the media. Despite debuting at number 1 on the Billboard charts, everything mixed review from critics. Invisible was released as Jackson having legally issued with Sony over the rights to his master recordings, which escalated when Jackson called Sony Music chairman Tommy Mottola a racist who explored black artists. Wasn't he J-Lo? I think he was J-Lo's manager too. I don't think he even. But I think J-Lo had him as a manager. I don't know who she has now, but I know for sure that she had him at one point. By the turn of the century, Jackson was increasingly becoming known for his eccentricities, which include wearing a surgical mask in public. And in 2002, Jackson made headlines when he seemed confused to discourage on stage at the MTV Music Awards in 2002. He received numerous criticism for dangling his baby son blanket over the balcony while greeting fans in Berlin, Germany. In the later interview, Jackson explained that, quote, "We were waiting for thousands of fans down below, and they were chatting. They wanted to see my child, so I was kind enough to let them see it. I was doing something out of innocence," end quote. In 2003, Jackson encountered more legally woes when he was arrested and charged related to the accident with a 13-year-old boy. He faced 10 counts in total, including lewd conduct with the minor, conspiracy to commit child abduction, false imprisonment, and extortion. The resulting 2005 trial was a media circus with fans decorated and cameras crew surrounding the courthouse. More than 130 people testified, and Jackson occurs described via videotape how he had been given wine and molested. However, the jury found problems with his testimony, as well as if this mother, Jackson was found not guilty of all charges on June 14th of 2005. So with this case, there is a show, I think it's called Jury or something like that, where they talk to jurors of famous people that have gone to court for different type of things. And I saw one of the episodes and it had to do with him. And the juries, I may be wrong because it's so long ago, but the jury, they stand with the not guilty verdict. If you paid attention to one of the one of the kids is in video and they're asking him questions. He has his mouth covered like this, but you could tell that he's laughing, like he's smiling. So basically, that was a lie. He was lying. His family was lying. Allegedly, the family was lying about the whole situation. Allegedly, the family just wanted money, and this is not the first time that Michael Jackson was allegedly accused of that. So I think the family, in my opinion, I think the family just saw that as an opportunity to do the same. And but like I said, if you go, I think it's called Juror, but if you see the video, his hand is in his mouth covered. Why would you cover your mouth with your hands if you're telling the truth? In August of 1994, Jackson announced that he had married Lisa Mary Presley, daughter of the rock icon Elvis Presley, which I will be doing a video of him as well. The unit proved to be short-lived as they divorced in 1996. Some thought that the marriage was a public plot to restore Jackson's image after children molestation allegation. They both came out later saying that it wasn't truth. I don't know about her. I think she did, but I don't remember. But I know he did say that. No, he really did love her, but it was not meant to be. Later in 1996, Jackson wed nurse Debbie Road. Jackson Road had 2 children through artificial insemination. Son Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., born in 1997 and known as Prince Jackson, and daughter Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, born in 1998. When Rude and Jackson divorced in 1990, Michael received full custody of their children. Jackson would go on to have a third child, Prince Michael Jackson II, who went by Blanket and now BG, with an unknown surrogate in 2002. So his first 2 kids, his older 2 kids, were by the same women. No, they did not do they didn't do all that nasty thing the way you're supposed to have kids. They did it the medical way. And then the last one, it was the same way, but we don't know who the mom is. Jackson died on June 25th of 2009 at the age of 50 after suffering a cardiac arrest in his Los Angeles home. CPR attempts failed and he was rushed to the hospital where he died later that morning. In February 2010, official coroner's report revealed Jackson's cause of death was propofol intoxication or a lethal overdose on a prescription drug cocktail including the sensitive midazolam, dicipin, and lidocaine, aided by personal physician Dr. Corinne Murray. Jackson had been taking sensitive drugs to help him sleep at night. Murray told police that he believed Jackson had developed a particular addiction to propofol, which Jackson referred to as his milk. Murray reportedly administered propofol by IV in the evenings in 5 milligram dosage and was attempting to wean the pop star off the drug around the time of his death. And I'm sorry, me personally, I don't believe that. I feel like with doctors and nurses, and when they work for a celebrity, they don't want to say no, because in their mind, saying no to them is you losing your job. I'd rather say no to you as a celebrity if you're trying to overdose or wanting to do this drug, knowing that you cannot have this drug because of the condition and I'm gonna get you some help. But if I get fired at the end of the day, at least I know that I tried to my best to get you help. Just because you're a celebrity, I'm not gonna sit here and say yes to you. No, because I'm here to take care of you, not help you die. No, I'm not doing all that. That's just not the type of person I am. A police investigation revealed that Murray was not licensed to participate most controlled drugs in the state of California. So basically, there are doctors, because I looked this up, there are doctors that only can have are licensed for certain type of drugs. Not all doctors are licensed for every single drug that there is. There's some that they're licensed for certain. There's some that it's just, that's how it works. I'm guessing he lied. The steps he took to save Jackson also came under criticism, as an evidence showed that he then stared for care of administering propofol had not been met, and the recommended equipment for patients monitoring precision dosing and resuscitation had not been present. As a result, Jackson's death was ruled a homicide. Mary was convicted of involuntary manslaughter on November 7, 2011, and received a 4-year minimum prison sentence, which I think to me that was bullcrap. That is too short. In 2013, Jackson family launched a wrongful death lawsuit against AEG Life, the entertainment company that promoted Jackson's planned comeback series in 2009. They believed that the company had failed to evict protect the singer while he was under Murray's care. Jackson's family lawyers sought up to $1.5 billion, an estimation of what Jackson could have earned to the point, but in October 2013, a jury determined that AEG wasn't responsible for the singer's death. On July 7, 2009, a television memorial was held for Jackson fans in the Staples Center in Midtown Los Angeles, while 50,000 free tickets were issued to fans via lottery. An estimated 1 billion viewers watched the memorial television or online. Jackson's death resulted in an outpouring of public grief and sympathy. Memorials were reacted around the world, including one of the arena where he was set to perform, in another at his childhood home in Gary, Indiana. The Jackson family held a private funeral on September 30, 2009 at the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendon, California, for immediate family member and 2,000 guests. Celebrity mourners including Jackson's ex-wife Lisa Marie Presley and actor Elizabeth Taylor. Over the course of his career, Jackson had notched 38 Grammy Award nominations, 13 wins, including Album of the Year for Thriller, Record of the Year for Beat It, Song of the Year, We Are the World, and his first Grammy in 1980 for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance, and Don't Stop Till We Get Enough. Among his other awards and honors are the 1983 Grammy Legend Award in 2001, introduced the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the Recording Academy Lifetime Achievement Award. A documentary of the Jackson presentations for his final tour entitled This Is It was released in October 2009. The film, which featured a compilation of interviews, rehearsals, and backstage footage of his start, made $23 billion in his opening weekend and went on to make $261 billion worldwide. A handful of posthumous albums were released in the years after Jackson's death. The first, Michael, was released in December 2010. Amid controversy about whether the singer actually performed some of the tracks, Brother Randy was among those who questioned the authenticity of the record, but the Jackson state later referred that claims according to New York Times. The second album, Escape 2014, featured R&B starring Jackson prodigy Usher performing the single Love Never Felt So Good. The album debuted at number 2 on Billboard Top's 200 album. Okay, so what his brother is saying, because the album came after he died, we don't know if basically he's saying, is that even my brother's voice? It could be. I've never heard. If you're a Michael Jackson fan, let me know. If you heard the album, is it his voice or is it not? Or, I mean, because I don't know but I know with today, you could play with someone who passed away and you could I don't know. I don't get it. I've never heard the album, so I would like to know. Since his death, Jackson had been profiled in multiple biographies, inspired the creation of 2 credible solo shows. He was posthumously honored with the 2018 Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation Legacy Award for Humanitarian Service, with children, parents, and Prince Michael accepting on his behalf. Jackson's debts have been settled thanks to his earlier investment in the Sony ATV music catalog, which includes the publishing rights for songs of industry heavyweights such as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Taylor Swift. The Jackson estate sold its share of Sony ATV in 2016 for $750 million, and 2 years later, the estate received another $287.5 million for a stake in EMI Music publisher. Additional Jackson earning power laced well past his final days. In October 2017, Forbes announced that Jackson had topped the publication's list of top earning death celebrity for the fifth straight year, earning $75 billion. Accusations of sexual abuse against Jackson resurfaced in early 2019 with the airing of Leaving Neverland at the Sundance Film Festival, followed by an HBO podcast. The 4-hour documentary explored the allegations of the two men, who describe how the pop star lures them into his Herbie when they were boys, gained trust of their parents before equating them into sexual activities in hotel rooms at his Neverland ranch. The Jackson estate called the two accused serial predators and launched a $100 million lawsuit against HBO. As of December 2020, this suit plans to go into operation. So basically what they're saying is that HBO did not say didn't tell anything about this documentary to the family, to me, which is damn crazy, because I feel like this happens a lot with celebrities, that once they pass away, companies do certain things without the concern of the family. So these are quotes. I don't know who these quotes are from, but they are in his thing, so I'm just gonna read it. Being on stage is magic. There's nothing like it. You feel the energy of everybody who's out there. You feel it all over your body. Bring an entertainer. You just can't tell who's your friend. Being multiple hurts. You feel like you are spaghetti among thousands of hands. They're just ripping you and pulling your hair. And you feel that any moment you're gonna just break. I had to take credit for the songs I have written. I feel that somewhere, someplace it's been done. And it's just a carrier bringing it into the world. I really believe that I love what I do and I'm happy in what I do, escaping. Why can't you share your bed? That's the most loving thing to do. Share your bed with someone. If you enter this world knowing you are loved and you leave this world knowing the same, then everything that happened in between can be dealt with. I always want to know what makes good performance fall into pieces. My father would rehearse with the belt in his hand. You couldn't mess up. Magic is easy if you put your heart into it. I wouldn't be happy doing this one kind of music or label ourselves. I like doing something for everybody. I don't like our music to be labeled. Labels are like racism. What I'm asking is, whatever this is still a country where a particular person such as Michael Jackson could get a fair shake to be considered innocent to proven guilty? Or is this just a 21st century American barnyard where we all feel free to turn and moonwalking rooster and perk to his death? And that is the sad story of Michael Jackson. This story, to me, in the life that he lived, I think this was one of the most heartbroken lives that I've ever seen, and celebrities wise, and I've seen a lot. I feel like people did not understand who he was. You know, yes, he when he was on stage, I would have loved to go to one of his concerts. But when he was on stage, he was, I can't even explain it. I can't put it into word of how amazing this man was. Like he was amazing in the stage. Like people were crying from beginning to end. When he came out, it was just like it was God who came out, basically. But if you hear him talk in his voice, a lot of people say that he had a child voice, and and it's to me, and it's a nice, to me it feels like it was a child voice, but in a cute way. Y'all need to remember that he lost his childhood. He never had a regular childhood. He never played outside with other children. He lost all that. So him becoming an adult and basically finally this getting away from his father. I feel like he just wanted to make up the fact that he lost his child, and that's why he created this this life for him, with the, he had animals, he had he had everything in that Neverland house, because he lost it. He did not have the choice to be children. And there's celebrities that's happened to them, that they lose their childhood, and I think he's one of the example. And I feel like to me, I mean, I don't know if allegedly his parents, I mean, his dad was violent to them. From what I know, he has been the only one who has talked about it. I know that Janet Jackson had come up with a documentary, but I don't remember if she even goes or she talks about her dad being abusive, allegedly being abusive to them. I don't know. I'm assuming it was only the boys and not the girls, but like I said, I don't know. But I've seen a lot of interviews with Michael Jackson, and he does. I mean, the interview with Oprah, he tells Oprah, yeah, my dad used to have a bell when we would practice, and if we did something wrong, we would get hit. And I think it's just crazy how I hate that people criticize him for the way he acted. But what do you expect? He lost his childhood. He didn't know. He never knew what it was to be a child. He never went to go play outside. He never rode a bike. I mean, he was always rehearsing from the age of 5 all the way until he died. It was always work. That's all he knew, because that's how he was raised his whole life. And it sucks to know that he lost his childhood, and he lost who he was because of it. But through all that pain, he helped children and people that needed the help, and he would go to countries and and would sit with them, with the children, and help and give back. That's one thing that I feel like a lot of people tend to forget, how many times Michael Jackson gave up. He spoke the truth in his music, and a lot of people didn't like the way he did it. Oh well, don't listen to it. But he spoke what was happening in the world. He spoke about what was happening in prison. He spoke about how children on other countries, that the most of the poorest countries we've known, he spoke about it, and he helped. He flew to those countries to help. He gave back. I personally, in my opinion, I don't believe none of these kids that said that he did what he did to them. I think they just said it to get some type of money. That's just my opinion. It's happened before, and I would not be surprised that if it happened again. I really do not think Michael Jackson did anything to those kids. I think Michael Jackson just wanted to. Because of his childhood and him not being a kid, I think he connected more with children than he did with adults. Because of that, I feel like with Michael Jackson, like I said, he did not have a childhood, so he connected with children. When he was on stage, he connected with adults because he was on stage. He was singing, he was doing his music. But when he was not on stage, he connected to children. Because he connected to them because he never knew what was to be a child. He did not know what it was to feel like going outside and being called, and your mom telling you better be inside, but before the lights go on in the street. So I feel like he had that connection to children, and I really do believe that he did not do anything to none of these children. There was no proof of it. I'm telling you, I think it's called Jared, but if y'all look it up, let me know, because I cannot remember the name. But looking at that documentary and how the jury speak and how the other kids speak, I don't believe it. I don't think Michael Jackson do anything. I think every single one of these parents lied. They lied because they knew Michael Jackson had money. They knew Michael Jackson would give back, and he knew that Michael Jackson would do anything to make his fans happy because that's the type of person he was, and parents took advantage of that. And that to me is one of the saddest thing that you could ever do to someone. I feel like Michael Jackson didn't have no one to support him. I feel like they just didn't support him. They, to help him out and just to, I think Michael Jackson was the type of person that would say yes to anything. And I feel like he had people that would say yes to him. And I'm including the doctor. I feel like the doctor should have said no to him. Yes, it's Michael Jackson. Yes, he's a celebrity. Yes, you would have gotten fired. But I had rather save Michael Jackson's life and him still be here than me still working with him and see him die. See him with my own eyes and die. I would have talked to his mom or his sister, somebody like, hey, Michael, your brother is getting out of hand. He's addicted to these drugs and I need your help. I'm not going to be responsible for your brother's death. And I've tried to tell him that he needs to stop, but he just won't. Can you please help me? If I get fired by your brother by the end of the day, I don't care. I'm trying to help your brother out, and I need y'all to do like an overtake. What do you call that? Like I need y'all to come over here, do a meeting with him, talk to him. I don't know, because I ain't fixing to do all that. And I think that he should have done that. I also think that the doctor should have said something before. If he was with Michael Jackson 24/7, why did you not see that he was getting addicted to these drugs? Apparently not, because we would not be having this conversation right now. But I want to end this video to let y'all know that Michael Jackson was one of the most amazing person and a celebrity that I've come across. I never met him, but when I watch his videos or even listen to his music, you could tell the passion he has for his music, and no matter what he went through, he loved his fans. His fans supported him. He loved his children. His children were one of the most amazing things that could happen to him. When he would talk about his children, he would smile. Like he would smile. Like it was just the biggest smiles I've ever seen. So I really do hope that he is resting in peace. And I really do hope that he's watching over his family, his kids, especially his kids, because allegedly 2 of his boys are suing the grandma. I don't know what that's about, but if y'all know, let me know. But that'll be it for today, guys. I will be back with a new video. I will be doing a missing child's case next upload, so please keep connected. Do not forget to subscribe and have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank you so much for being subscribed to my channel. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It will mean the world to me.